Welcome back to the Earned by Experience podcast, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Ben Browse. This week is episode 6, and I had my buddy Rob Wood on. Rob Wood is a Maryland DNR officer or NRP, game warden, depending on where you're from. It was really fun to have him in the studio and sit down and find out what led him to where he's at. I really enjoyed the conversation, and we had a lot of fun afterwards, too, with our kids. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. And I want to say definitely thank you for all the likes, shares, subscribes, follows, all that jazz on social media and YouTube and all that. So it just helps us grow. So big thanks to all that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. So cool, man. We're up, dude.
All right, we're good.
Yeah, man, dude. So I'm really pumped to have you in the studio, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We went to the go-kart track last night and spectated you guys doing your thing, man.
Yeah, Milton Speedway.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was so awesome. So awesome that you guys came out to help us out.
Dude.
It's usually just me running around frantic trying to get the go-kart ready before the race. So my son, I'd try to get him to come help me, but he's going and getting Italian ice or something, hanging out with his friends. But it's all good.
Yeah, that was really fun, man. It exposed us to it,
Yeah.
even though we have them. But we never got the chance to go to the track and see the organization and signing up. And it's kind of intimidating at first, just because everyone's looking at you like you don't belong there. Because they're surprised. We're not surprised, but it's
Maybe
like
we don't belong.
a new competitor. What's this guy about? You know?
Yeah. Well, they probably saw you were like, oh, that's a threat because you know your way around some tools. Where me, I'm not a threat. I'm just working the 9 to 5 and showing up and with the go-kart in the back of a truck and just a bag of Husky tools from Home Depot, just trying to make it to the race, just trying to finish the race. So
yeah, some of those are the best competitors though,
Yeah.
because they want it more usually than the guys. Well, maybe not, but you look at like Dale Earnhardt and stuff. They started with just a race car, trailer, and a truck. You know? So
humble beginnings. That's what we are.
that's what it takes, man.
Yeah.
That's what creates freaking legends.
Yeah, but that's awesome, and that's a testament to who you are as a dad and a friend to come out and help me out with that. And
Oh man, I would do it any race there is.
yeah, I remember when we first got it, and I asked you back in last December, hey, can you help me get the engine going? And then you had a drop of a hat. You said, yeah, come on over. We'll knock it out. I mean, it was dark because it was after 4:00 in December, but huge testament to who you are as a good friend and helping me out get it running.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the kind
it.
words, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not used to the accolade, and not accolades, but the recognition. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I would do that for anybody.
Yeah.
I love that, and I'm a gearhead, so
Same.
Even just being around it and trying to help. What's cool on my end of it though is I'm the gearhead and the mechanic style, whatever. Get in there and do it. I don't know a whole bunch about the chassis setups and all that stuff, so I can't help you there. But what's cool on my end is watching you guys just trudge your way in there and park your truck and get your stuff out. Where I'm a little more like I'll spectate, see how it's ran, get my organization done, and see. So I guess my fear is looking like a fool because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's me.
Well, you show no fear with it. You just
I have no fear. I have nothing to lose.
right. Well, I need to take notes because it's not a fear of not knowing what I'm doing. It's like I like to go in prepared, I guess. So it's not like I'm not whatever. Maybe it's a little bit of fear, just not knowing. But I don't want to do the wrong thing too and make everyone upset or like you know. I like to know the rules and the tire prep and make sure I'm not accidentally cheating or not cheating, but like just not knowing the rules all the way. So it's cool for me to watch you guys do it and get my feet wet with that and then be like, all right, well, next time we'll bring our stuff and we'll just try to run with the big dogs.
Yeah, it's fun. Everyone's super helpful. All the other dads, they want the kids to succeed. They don't, it's not super competitive. They want their kid to do well as well, but they want to see your kid have fun. So it's an awesome place to bring your kid out and have them race on a Friday night. It's a good time.
And make no mistake, they're out there to help, but they are serious competitors.
Yes.
That is,
and they have a big trailer, and they have like 4 go-karts they're pulling out for all different race leagues. I mean, there was 10 different races we saw last night. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're competitive and they're serious, and the whole family comes out. The granddad's doing the tire prep on the wheels in between races. So yeah,
that was awesome to see. I was talking about it this morning with Jessica because she's kind of fired up about it. She's like, well, let's get little Ben more into it. You know, let's really kind of not push him into it, but like get him. He needs a little more assistance to get comfortable.
Yeah.
I guess he probably takes lessons from his dad. You know what I mean? So, it was cool. We were talking about this morning, the whole deal where, you weigh the cart and all that jazz. So we're going to get further into it, I think. And,
yeah, I think
road.
Silas wants to do it again next year. So we're on board.
yeah.
And it goes till the end of November or around that time frame.
They race late in the season then. That's cool.
Yeah.
Probably gets a little bit better as it cools off too. It's
I
not
think
so
so.
sticky and disgusting.
So that's something we're learning is so that it was really hot the past couple of weekends. So tire prep was a little different from what we did last night where it was cool out. So we had to use the torch a little bit more on the tires to get them extra grippy.
Yeah.
So it's just like watching NASCAR at home. Like, oh, what are they talking about tires? They're like, tires is everything. That's how you're going to win the race. We're like, yep, it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. And that tack stuff you put on them, I guess, really helps.
Yeah,
So-
the red tack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all stuff I learned last night. So,
Well, good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun. We got the cart dialed in and turned some laps. He did good.
Yep, got
So-
fourth out of 7 carts.
Better than last.
So that's better than last.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I was just sitting there thinking about it a minute ago. To transition to you, it seems to me where I think of you as a DNR officer, because that's kind of what I've always just thought of you as that. But it goes deeper than that, where it seems to me you're more set in the Coast Guard.
Yeah. Environment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, which I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I've been in the Coast Guard for almost 18 years now. So longer than NRP. So I've been with NRP for about 11 years now. But started out with Coast Guard.
When you say NRP, that's National Resource Police.
Yeah, Natural Resources Police, or DNR, as you guys call us.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's
Look
all
out
I've
for
ever
DNR,
known.
right?
Yeah, it's funny because you can go by a DNR officer, you can go by a game warden,
Yep.
Which I feel like it's different states call them different things. So
Yep.
for us, I've only ever known you guys as DNR officers.
Yep.
But it's Natural Resource Police.
Natural Resources Police, yep. So we fall under the Department of Natural Resources, and we're the police portion of that branch, I would say, under the state of Maryland.
Okay.
So we're a statewide agency, so we have statewide jurisdiction, just like state police, but we have a little bit more authority, more power, just like Hunter when you had him on.
Mm-hmm.
So we can do everything a state trooper can, but more. So we do the boating enforcement and recreational hunting, fishing, crabbing, and then we do boat accident investigations, OUIs, so DUI on the water, pulling a drunk boater over and doing field sobriety. So
Yeah, quick question on that. What is the deal with, maybe it's something I don't know if we can cover it or not, but is there a grace period? Say if you were drinking, we can cut this out too, I don't care. But if you were drinking and driving or your boat, and
Yep.
do you have a grace period to get back on land?
Yep. Yeah, we
Okay.
do. So it's 15 minutes.
Okay.
So obviously you've been on your boat and the wakes or the waves have
Sea
been
legs, right?
Yeah. So you have sea legs. So you've been rocking back and forth on the boat. I mean, I know if I've been on a boat for 8 hours a day, I go home, I take a shower, I'm in the shower, and I'm like moving around
Yeah.
unintentionally. So yeah, it's the same thing. So yeah, we give them a grace period about 15 minutes
Okay.
to acclimate to land.
Yeah, I was just curious about that because I was like, well, that is a real concern,
Yeah.
If you're out there all day, but maybe you were drinking too much. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not an
Yeah,
expert, but
it's
that's
tough. Yeah, it's tough.
quick
You got
tip.
the sun beating down. You've been drinking. Alcohol has a huge. It's more powerful, or it has more effect on your body, on your blood system. If you've been outside drinking and then you're on a boat, it compounds that effect, compared to just leaving a bar and getting in your car and driving.
Gotcha.
So that's another thing that's difficult for our job because. So you pull someone over, the current is moving their boat at the same time, trying to communicate. You're getting close to the Route 50 bridge. Other boats are coming this way, trying to talk to the guy, trying to say, hey, you're going to get on with us. Then we have to tow you back to we got to tow their boat to like the commercial harbor and do field sobriety there once we get back. So there's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, that is tough.
It's tough.
I can't imagine. What do you guys do if you pull over a boat in that situation just to pull them over? Do you guys kind of tie them up and then keep your boat in motion?
With the bridge traffic and the bridges, we try to just hold on to them by hand, and then if someone's coming or we can't physical control of their vessel, we'll just push them away.
Okay.
But we'll try to have a boat with at least 2 officers. That way we can have contact on their vessel to maintain it so they don't float away too fast. But we will put lines on if we have to, if it's a quick environment, quick moving, to adjust, quick evolution.
Yeah, that's cool. And I guess you guys see all kinds out there. From everything from people that are just having a bad day, or maybe in an accident, or ran aground, or
see everything. People just don't know where they're going. They run aground on the sandbars because there's many sandbars out here. People get stuck on. I've gotten stuck myself, and I've been people took pictures of me and put me on qualified captain.
Really?
So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
you're famous.
Yeah.
Insta famous.
That's
funny.
Didn't mean to. But.
Hey, it happens to the best of us. I was just talking to my buddy the other day. He was on his jet ski, and he's been through the channel many times, and thought this is the way I've been many times. And next thing you know, they're almost over the handlebars. So it happens quick.
That's why that jack plate comes in handy that you have on your boat, because you can go places that most people can't. Even the police have a hard time.
I love that. That's why when I saw that boat, I was like, I'm gonna get that.
You need it for out here.
You do. It's a great boat for our area, but at the same time, like I was saying about the racetrack, where I like to kind of go dip my toes in and see what it's all about before I get too invested.
Yeah.
Or that thing can get me out of a sticky situation if I accidentally do something wrong. I think my fear is just looking like a dummy.
Oh no.
I'm just saying, maybe inadvertently, that's just who I am. I don't know, but that's kind of my idea with that jack plate is. And it drafts like no water. You can really get it.
You're no dummy with a jack plate. They'll be like, that guy knows what he's doing.
Well, at least I'll look the part. I take the cake for the world's smartest dumbass. So
no, that was awesome. Good purchase getting that jack plate.
I love it, man. Yeah, hopefully we can get the chance to go out. You could probably show me some really cool areas that I don't even know about.
Yeah, we can do a ride along. So anybody can sign up for a ride along if they're interested in possibly a career with Natural Resource Police, or just want to know a little bit more about the job. That's an option. Anybody can sign up, reach out to the NRP, and you can do a ride along.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's cool.
And I know you did one with us when we did a tour of the boathouse. Mm-hmm. I think last year.
That was fun.
So we took you out in the 37-foot Boston Whaler with the triple Mercury outboards.
That thing's a ripper.
Yeah, that's fun.
Fun, dude. How is it to have that thing at your disposal?
Oh, it's great. We don't take it out as often as we'd like to, just because of how big it is. We don't really like to take it north of the Route 50 bridge, just because of the draft and with the changing sandbars up there. But we use it a lot for White Marlin Open patrol. We also do it. We use it. We go out in the ocean past 3 nautical miles, so we're deputized NOAA federal officers. So we do we enforce the federal commercial fisheries with that vessel.
Sweet.
Yeah. So we'll go out and check gear to make sure that it has all the markings, that it has the hognose rings on there. So the hognose rings, the purpose of those, if a whale gets caught in a line, it can break free. The whale can, the weight of the whale itself is pulling the line, and then it'll break free. The gear will break, and the whale continues on its migration or its path, and then there's no harm to it. So we go out there and check for the buoys for that.
That's cool. How about, it just came up the other day, I was talking to my buddy, and he was explaining that they do spear fishing.
Okay.
Do you guys ever come across people like that are down there just free diving, checking?
Sometimes. Near the north end of Assateague, we'll see that sometimes.
Really?
But it's got to be, the water's got to be really clear, though.
That was my next question,
Yeah.
is how not that you know a bunch about it, but it's got to be kind of cool. Do you have to put any markers or anything out, or just your boat's enough?
Just your boat's enough.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
And if you have a buddy, if you have a dive flag, that would be great. But if you have a buddy, just, hey, stay back. I got my buddies, spear fishing.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I didn't even know that. I've seen it on YouTube and things, but I didn't know that people locally did it. That's got to be a rush.
Yeah.
So
I think that'd be really neat.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully.
I've never done it, but
hopefully, shout out Steve. I want to go. So
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be killer. But yeah, I've been out there and I've seen the gear you're talking about, the buoys and the lobster pots and things like that. That's pretty far out there. So that's pretty cool. And then I think you were saying a while back that you're on some kind of SWAT team too, that you do some tactical missions out there.
Yep. So I'm a tactical boat operator with our SWAT team. So that means it's kind of like a delivery driver for the SWAT team. So we board a lot of ships that come up the Chesapeake Bay. It's just if they're designated coming from a certain country, that needs to be boarded and checked what they have on board, cargo or personnel, that maybe they have someone that could be wanted, one of the crew members, and we board it with HSI and CBP, and yeah, we're busy there. And then we responded to the Key Bridge when it collapsed when we got hit by that ship. So we were there first thing in the morning just to make sure it wasn't like a terrorist incident. So just to kind of make sure it was clear there's no threats to the public.
Yeah, what's crazy about that, when that vessel hit that Key Bridge, we were not going to be on it that day, but we were headed to Baltimore that day for the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you're like, well, got to go to work.
Yeah.
That was wild.
I wasn't there first thing in the morning. I was actually in DC with my son on a field trip, but my phone was going off, and my buddy was like, "Hey, wake up, time to go." And then I looked at it, I was like, "Oh man, this is huge," because that rarely something that big like a mass something that big happening. Yeah, it's rare. So I had to drive back from DC, drop my son off, and then get my truck and change out into my uniform and go report and get on the boat and set up like a safety zone so no one drives into there, because it was technically a crime scene at that time.
Wow, that's wild, man. And then I was thinking about it a while back, not to gloss over that, but then just a few months later, a commercial aircraft collides with a helicopter in the Potomac.
Yeah.
Wild, dude.
Crazy,
Did you get to respond to that too?
Yep. So I was there for that. So we got the notification, I think it was around 9:00 at night, but I was about to go to bed, but then my phone went off. So we have a message system. We all communicate to each other on that. Everybody on the team say, "This is what's going on. Hey, are you available?" So yep. So I actually grabbed a boat from here and towed it all the way to Washington D.C. I got there around midnight, but yeah, it was quite a scene. Yeah.
Do you guys
Sad.
Yeah, man, that is a bad deal. I don't know how that thing happened. I'm sure there's going to be a full investigation. And
Yeah.
that is absolutely devastating.
But yeah, just
crazy things happen, man.
Yeah, just glad that just happy to help where I can.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that you're out there. People like you.
Yeah.
Do you guys keep boats rigged up on a trailer for that?
Yeah, we have
response?
boats. We have boats ready to go. We have a bunch of boats right on Kent Island that we can just hook up to and tow to wherever we got to go. It's a central location for Maryland, so that's why we have them there.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, that's wicked, man. I figured you guys probably have an arsenal of equipment to respond to all kinds of situations. That's cool.
Lots of boats I need to keep up on maintenance too. So there's that part of it.
Do you guys get to do any of the work to them?
We have hired civilians, mechanics that work on the boats, but we can take for the boats in Ocean City, where I work out of Ocean City at the boathouse. We take them to local dealers and we get them worked on their maintenance if we have to. If we gotta be a quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. So did you always know that you were like destined to be a Marine police officer, or kind of like where did that start? Like that drive to be wanting to serve the community, you know?
So
that's what you're doing.
So growing up, I grew up in Yorktown, Virginia. So it's right near a Coast Guard training center. So I was surrounded by a lot of military, and my dad served in the Air Force for a couple of years, and my grandfather was in the Navy. He was a submarine commander during World War II. Wow. He passed away from malaria and at a young age, and smoked a lot of cigars. But
back when men were men, dude.
Yeah, he was a bad dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so super proud of my family history. So I knew I wanted to serve in some capacity, and I thought the Coast Guard was cool because they do search and rescue. They do a lot of missions a lot of people don't know about. So that got my attention when I was in high school. So I knew I was going to apply at some point, but I went to college, and then my sophomore year I signed up for the Coast Guard. I signed up for the reserve, so I knew I was going to do the reserve for a couple of years, and then once I graduate from college, use that degree maybe to go to the officer route or just go active duty full time. But unfortunately, the recession hit, and there wasn't any open positions in the Coast Guard at that time. So, but there was an upcoming deployment to the Middle East, to Kuwait, for 6 months. So that was upcoming at the current unit I was at, which is a port security unit out of Virginia. So they said if you work hard and you get the certifications that the Coast Guard needs, there's a good chance that it could open the doors to other possibilities. So I met my wife. We got married right before I deployed. So I left for 6 months. So not much of a honeymoon, but So I deployed to Kuwait for 6 months, and it was hot, but it was a really interesting place.
That's awesome. Now you glossed over your marriage thing, not to like hit on that, but you didn't just like find her and get married. I think you guys knew each other for a long time, right?
Yeah.
Didn't you like grow
Yeah.
up knowing each other?
So we went to elementary school together. So we've known each other pretty much our whole lives,
Okay.
and then moved away, and then we got reconnected when we were in college. About our senior year of college, we reconnected
Gotcha.
in DC.
I was gonna say you didn't just meet some girl off the street and be like, "Hey, let's get married."
No,
right before I'm going
that's
off.
the typical military.
Yeah, and they probably all end up in freaking divorce or something at some point. So
yeah.
that's
So she's been through a lot with me, and we've overcome many challenges. But without her support, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that says a lot about who she is as a person. And
awesome.
so I deployed for 6 months, and I worked really hard, and I got the coxswain certification, which means you're qualified to drive the Coast Guard boat, so you're in charge of it. So once I was able to get that certification, then they said, hey, there's an opening in California. You can go to that, and it's an undetermined amount of time, but max 2 years. So I told my wife, this is really the only opportunity we have. So, but we were young, we had no kids, so we went for it, and once I came back from Kuwait, we moved to California.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was 2012.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's super cool. It's got to be exciting to just think about a new place too, you know? Like it wasn't, I mean, I know a lot of it was work related, but you're like, well, I kind of want to go check out the country too. It's got to be some kind of thought process, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But Kuwait was a really cool place to be deployed, but it was hard work to get that certification. I had to study pretty much every day for 6 months because the book, I mean, the manual's thick. It's a lot to know, a lot to study, you have to know a lot of information off the top of your head. You're the coxswain responsibilities, Becky drills, so basic engineering casualty. If your engine goes down, you got to know how to fix it or what to do or how to communicate, how to get help.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to know the length of the boat, how much horsepower it has, all the systems on board, the fuel system, fire extinguisher systems. It's got everything. So it's a lot to try to remember, and it's like drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah, that is a lot. And not only about the vessel, but also the procedures to help people and first aid and all the other things that goes through the, rescue missions. That's wicked, man.
And because it was a CENTCOM deployment to the Middle East, we had to go to Fort Dix for a month to do like TCCC training. So traumatic combat. I think I'm messing that up, but combat casualty medic training. So they put us in like this room, and there's no lights, and they have these dummies, and they're like half of them are missing limbs, and they're breathing, and then you have to apply tourniquets and combat gauze and try to do CPR and resuscitate them. And depending on how well you're doing, it's they'll come back to life or they won't, and you got to do triage. So basically, you come on a subject, because we did have reenactors who just you and me, who we hire like actors, and we just, hey, what's going on? Tell me what's wrong. So you gotta, whoever's can walk, you tell them, hey, help's coming. If you can walk, get up and go and exit. And then other people that are in worst case scenario, you kind of put them in different sections depending on their injuries and how bad their injuries are. So then you try to help people that are the ones that are not going to make it. You kind of, you can't do much for them, but so you take care of the ones that you can help, that you can save.
Yeah, that's got to be tough to make that decision too.
Yeah. So we had that training, and then we were driving Humvees at night with night vision goggles and shooting 50 cal with night vision. And it was pretty cool. And then they had a FOB, like a make-believe Ford operating base, and then they had a town with actors, and you had to approach the town in the Humvees. You get out, and it's like the tribesmen come out, and then you have to negotiate with them, like give them some food so you can keep driving through their town, kind of negotiate.
Wow.
So it's fun.
Did you ever have anything like that actually you had to
No.
do in real life?
I was on
that?
I was on a base with plenty of military people. We had a dining facility, air conditioning, so we were okay. It was a little extreme, but everyone that's deploys to Iraq or Afghanistan, they would go through that training
I'm sure it's needed.
just to familiarize how it could be if they're deployed.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Well, at least you have
But
that background.
it's interesting, yeah.
Heck yeah, that's cool, man.
But if you eat an MRE, then you're not going to be able to poop for about 24 hours.
Is that
But
good or
they
bad?
have gum that you can like chew to help.
Really?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah.
Good times.
It's fun. So that was the start of your
Coast Guard,
Coast Guard.
career. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went from California. So you went to California and then deployed to Kuwait.
Kuwait and then California.
Okay.
So they said if you get the BM2 certification, then there's an opportunity in California for you.
Gotcha. I missed that.
So we went to California. So my wife and I packed up our 2 cars. I had the Tacoma, had it all loaded in the bed, and I had like a tarp. Everything was tied down tight. But by day 2, I mean, the tarp was flapping around like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Jed clamp it.
Jed clamp it, yeah. But yeah, it was an awesome experience driving across the country. It was really cool. It's cool to see it.
That is awesome. Yeah, I've been not too far. I mean, I think I've only been as far as like Indiana West, and just 14 hours is a lot. You see a lot.
Yeah.
So a lot of country out there that's
Beautiful
unseen.
country. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What part of California you guys stationed in?
So I was stationed at Vallejo, California. So Vallejo is northern San Francisco Bay Area. They call it Little Oakland. It's not very safe. It's not the safest place to be, but it was cool. It was a beautiful place. Cool place to be stationed at. So I was stationed there for about 2 years.
Nice. And you just a basic job, just protecting the waterways, taking care of whatever calls and safety boat stuff.
Yeah, we did search and rescue was our main thing, and then we did law enforcement as well. But so we did a lot of boats, like a lot of disabled vessels, and then we did some water rescues. You got someone parasailing, they fall in the water, they get too cold and they can't get back up. We had a couple of those instances, but yeah, it was a cool place to be stationed. Very busy, so we had a lot of calls.
You guys do a bunch of training too out there still?
Yeah, so we trained all the time.
I bet.
The Coast Guard trains all the time. So you'll see them out there. You'll see 2 boats out there, 2-boat training and towing each other, throwing a life ring in the water. And they're doing their search patterns, like a Victor Sierra search pattern to get the set and drift of the current. And if someone fell in at this location, depending on the tide and the current, they would end up here within an hour.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Any aviation missions or anything like that?
So we did some aerial use of force training with the Coast Guard with the Dolphin out of Air Station San Francisco. So we would we'd set up a security zone scenario. So we have a bad guy coming in the security zone, and then we would intercept and try to communicate, hey, you're entering a security zone, you got to leave. If he doesn't listen, we can do warning shots. And then after that, if he's still not listening, then the helicopter will come in as a kind of a use of force, aerial use of force, kind of intimidate and try to, hey, they showed they come in hot, and then they show the bottom of the helicopter and try to get the boat to turn around or stop. So that was really cool. And then the Coast Guard helicopter is really cool. They have a Hitron unit, which means they have a sniper on board the helicopter. And if this mainly takes place down in like the Caribbean. So you have a drug smuggler on a go fast boat with drugs on board. Is that, hey, pull, we're telling them on the radio, stop your vessel, pull over. This Coast Guard, they don't do it. Hitron comes with a sniper, shoots the engines out with the copper sabo rounds from the sniper rifle, like a 50 cal sniper rifle, and it disables the boat.
Yikes!
And then a small boat will come from a Coast Guard cutter and come and board it and detain the guys on board.
Wow. You ever been a part of any of that type
No.
stuff? No, just seen the movies.
Just did some training, but no, I've never actively been on a mission with it.
Okay. Is there a different section of the Coast Guard that say is in the helicopter aviation? I'm assuming that's still the Coast Guard, isn't it? That have aviation or?
Yeah.
Okay. You
Coast
see them
Guard's
like
got
the ropes and they deploy down there and rescue and all that. Is that you too or no?
So that's the Maritime Security Response Team, MSRT. So we have 2 teams, one on East Coast and West Coast. So they'll do boardings, kind of similar. They do similar missions to what we do with the Natural Resources Police with our SWAT team, boarding VBSS, so boarding ships. So they can drop from a rope, or they can do a hook and climb on the side of the ship. So yeah, MSRT. Those are those guys. So,
okay,
yeah.
it's a whole other team.
It's relatively new, past maybe 20 years, relatively new. So deployable operations group is what they used to fall under. But yeah, so it's another mission, another tool asset that we have that a lot of people don't know.
I forget how big the Coast Guard is.
Yeah,
I
so
mean-
we have about 45,000 active duty. So I think it's a little bit less than NYPD police officer force.
For the United States?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So we're not very big.
I know, but the coverage is huge.
There's a lot of coastline.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Now, is there civilians that do Coast Guard Reserve too?
There are, yeah.
Okay.
So you got the auxiliarists, so they'll check if you go out to the West Ocean City Commercial Harbor on like a weekend or in the summer, you'll see them checking boats on Saturdays, Sundays, make sure you got all your safety equipment, your life jackets, air horn, whistle, flares, all that stuff.
Okay. So they don't do any active missions. They're just chilling.
No, they just
Helping
assist. But if they're out in the water and hey, we have a missing boater, or we can help use them as another force multiplier. Hey, have you seen any vessels like that have this description, these colors on their boats, and then yeah, they can help out.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know if there was like I guess you have to be in the Coast Guard to be, training with them and whatnot. I just didn't know if there was like a weekend warrior type thing, but that seems like they're just the auxiliary out there helping out, doing what they can, checking boats within their capability.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah. Whew. You guys cover a lot of area, man.
It is a lot.
That's nuts. And then,
yeah, we're deployed worldwide. A lot of people don't know that. So we have cutters, icebreakers up in the Arctic right now because you have China and Russia. They have icebreakers as well. So we want to make sure we show them that hey, we're here too.
What's the idea of that for the cargo ships or something, or
just dominance, maritime dominance? They just want to fly their flag and try to stake claims if they can.
But you mean cutters like they're in the water breaking up ice?
Yeah, the icebreakers. Yep. So they will break up the ice for maritime flow for commercial ships as well. But they're also up there just kind of flying their flag.
Okay, so they're just showing presence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maritime
And there's just dudes up there living on boats, just.
Yeah, not full time. I mean, they're escorting, they're cruising through back and forth.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even think about that type of thing.
Yeah.
But
sphere of influence, right?
Breaking up ice.
Breaking up ice, yeah.
Yeah, and then we did that tour in West Ocean City with the homeschoolers.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome for even just a regular dad to be there and check that out. And I forget or don't even realize that the Coast Guard falls under the Department of Homeland Security too.
Yep. So that happened after 9/11. Happened in 2003. We were under the Department of Transportation, and then we went under Homeland Security.
Yeah, seems way more serious.
Yeah.
He gave an example. I don't remember exactly what it was, but because he asked the kids, what would this be? What do you guys think? And the Department of Homeland Security, I was kind of taken back by it. So you guys could wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
And those boats that we got to have a tour on, those things.
Yep. So that's the 45 response boat medium. So I was qualified to drive that out in California. I got certified on that. So it's jet drive. Yeah, the big one the 29 as well.
Okay.
But they don't have 29 at the Ocean City. They have I don't know what that one's called.
Yeah, I don't know. I just meant like it's the same boat. The manufacturer's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So everything's the same engines, all that.
So it's a standard boat. So a lot of people, it's a standard boat, so meaning it has a manual that comes with it, and all the information on it, and that's across the board, across the whole force.
That's sweet.
The whole Coast Guard fleet.
Yeah, and you said it's jet drive?
Yeah, the big one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. I saw
it's got the joysticks on it.
Yeah, big. What are they? Detroit diesels. Like
Detroit diesel. Yeah, two of them. Yeah.
Whip or supercharged with turbos. I'm like, yikes! These things are serious.
Yeah.
And they're clean as a whistle.
Yeah, they keep them clean.
Yeah, that was cool. I bet you those things scream too.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Is that the one that can be rolled over in the waves and ride back up?
That one's more for 8 to 12 foot waves. The bigger one that you're thinking of is the 47. So that one can flip over. It's got a air pocket on the top. If you ever see that on TV, you see the guys sitting up top, and they have a dry suit on or Mustang. There's a air pocket above them. So when it flips over, it'll just keep going. And then those guys are have seat belts, so they're buckled in so they don't fall out.
I was wondering that. I just saw a video the other day at the Indian River Inlet with Hurricane Aaron that we just avoided.
Yeah, good time for some
thankfully.
training for those guys
I
because
thought that was cool.
they don't really see seas unless it's a hurricane. They don't see sea state that big usually, but
Right. That blew my mind. I'm like, man, they don't see this stuff a whole bunch, but I hope those books are right because they're out there doing it.
yeah,
And those dudes are up there on that top. You can see them. I'm like, they have to be strapped in because the boat's, leaning over to one side pretty heavily, and it's going through that inlet, which is rough on a good day.
yeah.
So, yeah, that was cool to see. I'm glad they took advantage of it. I'm assuming that happens all the time. Taking advantage of the natural weather.
Yeah,
and going
taking
to
advantage
training.
and doing some training.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
So the
killer.
motto is, when you're at your worst, we're at our best. That's what the Coast Guard says. So
Oh, I'm
but-
thankful there's dudes out there that are doing it, man.
I don't want to
'cause
go out there.
That is, you don't think about it every now and then, but the water can change quick. I've been out there, just me and my boy crabbing, and next thing you know, I'm like, bro, it's getting dark. We better get our pots, and we got 25, so it takes us a little bit to pull them things out.
Oh yeah,
And by the time we were getting the last 10 out or so, I was about over it. I'm like, this is a little dangerous.
Yeah.
And we're on a little dinky boat too, so a nice V-hull is different. But next thing you know, the wind comes in, man. It's a whole nother ball game.
when I'm working for NRP, if I see a storm coming, then I see a family that just rented one of those pontoon boats and they're headed south towards Aztec. I'm like, they're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
I better go get them. So I go then and tell them, hey guys, storm's coming. Nicest people, but they don't. They could. I think the rental companies could probably do a better job of educating them on the environment and the weather, and saying, hey, maybe you should wait till tomorrow to rent this boat out. But
That's
yeah,
a good point. I never really thought about that.
yeah, a lot of people come here, go on vacation. They want to rent a boat for the afternoon. So then they don't take the other parts of it in effect. So like weather and that can end up in a bad day. So we're out there to make sure we're patrolling out there to make sure that it doesn't happen. They don't have a bad day, but we'll tell them to turn around or head back. And yeah, we
That's
try
nice.
to
Nice little friendly reminder to.
yeah.
That's cool.
With the jet skis, they go out and it's like sunsets in 20 minutes. Like, you guys don't have much time. You got to boogie. So we try to wrangle those guys up, the jet skis and the jet ski rentals.
Yeah.
So and then they're going. They have a big group coming out, and then you have the White Marlin Open, and then you have Michael Jordan coming in on Catch 23, and then it's chaos.
I can imagine what you have to deal with on a daily basis. What does it look like on a daily basis on the NRP side? You live locally, you just drive in, go to the boathouse, and is it like what everyone thinks though, or is it a bunch of like, bureaucracy of like meetings and paperwork and all that stuff? Like, because I think of like,
Yeah.
working in boats and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
what's it?
It's the best job in the state of Maryland. It really is.
Really?
Yeah, I really believe that. If I try to get there a little earlier, it seems like all the boat accidents happen at like 3:30 in the afternoon. It's like that's the witching hour.
kidding.
Yeah.
I would think it'd be at night.
It's usually around 3:30. People have been out all day, and and then the sun, the heat, or they've been drinking, and then that's when the accident. They're having too much fun, and then when you're on vacation, nothing bad's gonna ever happen.
Right.
So that's when it's usually 3:30. But so you're gonna have some paperwork if you have a boat accident, you have to investigate. But it's not too bad. The bureaucratic stuff, you're not dealing with any of that stuff.
Right on. Yeah, I was just curious. I think about just getting after it and get on the boat and go patrol.
Yeah,
but
they're paying you to drive a boat. That you don't have to pay for the gas or the maintenance. It's great.
that is sick. And if you run into the ground, you just get some pictures.
If you run aground, you end up on qualified captain. You suck it up, and your coworkers make fun of you, and then you just move on.
Well, the cool part about that though is usually you don't make that same mistake twice.
No, I have, but
Oh,
well,
okay.
not the same location.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At least it changes it up a little bit, unless the sandbars do move,
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. I was out recently fishing, and it's funny because you can see where the sandbar is starting, and we're like, all right, well, it's a good spot to be fishing through here and drift through. Next thing you know, I'm like, dang, I just felt the engine hit the sand. I better move. And what you're thinking, it's further out.
Yeah.
It always changes, but I mean, I guess things like depth finders and fish Garmin's and all that jazz really help too.
Yeah, I would say just follow the guy in front of you. If he looks like he knows if there's a couple of boats in front of you, be that guy and follow them. They probably know where they're going. But if you see one guy just going off on his own, I probably wouldn't follow him.
Yeah. There's a couple little cutouts too where instead of having to go up all the way to the channel marker, if you have a plotter on your phone or something, or a chart plotter, there are some cool little nav channels that you can sneak through.
Yeah.
That I've seen people do it. I haven't had the heart to do it yet, but even when I think I'm shallow or it's deep enough, I'm always humbled. So
Yeah,
I'm
same.
like, oh, I'll cut it a little tight. And no, don't do that. Just go around the markers.
Yeah, that was a big thing that guys would joke with me about. They're like, "Oh, Coast Guard, right? You can't go anything less than 6 feet. You gotta stay in the channel." Like they would joke on me about, like, "Yeah, you guys are funny," but it's true. I was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the channel for now until I learn my area," because I had a couple bumps when I just got hired on NRP, but just I broke my gun, I lost my badge, and I wrecked my truck all within like the first 3 months of being off FTO. So I was like, yeah, I got a couple bumps. I should probably just lay low for a little bit.
I'll stay in the
I'm
channels.
gonna stay in the channel for now.
That's crazy. Wow, that was when you first started? What's
Yeah.
FTO?
So field training, it's when you're on field training right after the academy. So you're with another officer, and he kind of shows you the ropes, shows you the area that you're working in, the enforcement, what activities taking place, like if it's waterfowl hunting or deer or fishing or whatever activities happen at that time. Just kind of getting comfortable and familiar with talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
FTO, I think it was about a month.
That's not too bad.
And the academy is about 7 months long.
That's not too bad. Yeah. I guess talking to people is a whole nother art form.
Yeah.
Keeping everyone calm and even though you're there to keep them safe and things, I'm sure that, the way you present yourself is a lot of it, keeping the anxiety down and things like that.
So at the academy, they kind of, everybody, just assume everybody has a gun. I mean, if you're checking during hunting season, everyone has a gun. So you kind of go into that mindset knowing like, hey, they could hurt you. So you just kind of, you're on the defensive a little bit, but you're just talking to them normal, like I'm talking to you, and just be nice and courteous and say, hey, how you doing? Do you have any luck? Catch anything? Or, how's your hunt going? But yeah, we try not to interfere if you're hunting. Obviously, if you're in a tree stand, we're not gonna interfere with it unless you're doing something illegal.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of patrolling on public land?
So when I first started out with NRP, I was assigned to Worcester County. So I did do some inland. It was mainly inland, and then you're in the parks in the summertime. But when I first got off FTO, it was waterfowl season. So it had one waterfowl bait case that I worked covertly with a couple other officers, but ended up busting the guy who worked for the county.
Really?
A county employee. So, but we watched him. We got out early, like 4 a.m. Hid, so he couldn't see us. And then he had a big hunting party, and they shot. And then the night before we collected corn from the pond, so we put it in evidence. And you have to keep the evidence and have a chain of custody. That way, when you go to court, hey, this is the bait. This is the sample that we have, and they hunted over it, which is illegal to hunt waterfowl with the aid of bait.
Okay.
Yeah. So same thing with deer on public property. So like the state forest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew that one, but I don't waterfowl hunt. So
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's kind of crazy. So what's right for one is right for all. I'm glad that you enforce that, though.
Yeah.
Like nobody's. Even though it was probably tough for them to accept it and you to do it, it still was the right thing to do.
It's the right thing, yeah. And they admit it, and they paid the citations, and we were polite about it. And we've come across people, or another instance, we caught some teenagers that were hunting with bait, and then we say, hey, game warden, we're coming out, and they throw their shotguns in the water, and I'm like, those shotguns are gonna rust up, they're going to be in evidence for a couple of months,
Yeah.
So
was it not shotgun season?
They were baiting.
Oh.
They were hunting waterfowl with bait as well.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, but we took their shotguns as evidence for that case.
Mm-hmm. That's wild. They just ditched them.
Yeah, they threw them in the water, but we retrieved them.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of cool tools you guys have that like we don't know about, like magnetic fishing things or grapple hooks or something cool?
We have some magnets. We don't nothing like super fancy.
Oh, just basic stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We have like some grappling hooks and some bait scrapers, but nothing nothing too
Any underwater
advanced.
cameras or something we don't know
No,
about?
we have some drones, so we'll send a drone in. We have some drones that are really small. We can send it in to say we have the SWAT team there, and we got a house that we're going to do a warrant search on. We can send the drone in through the house or a building to make sure it's clear and safe, or see what threats are in there before we send people in.
Okay.
Which is a great tool asset to have.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you have a drone operator, I assume?
Yep, we have drone operators. Yep, and we have K9 and a dive team. So our dive team, they were employed a lot for the Key Bridge. They were there for that and the plane crash. And the divers, I don't know how they do it. I mean, you're in murky water. Maryland doesn't have very clear water, so you're like in murky water. Maybe see your hand. That's it. And then they're looking for, most likely they're looking for people or a gun or something. And I don't know how they do it.
Props
Scary.
to those guys, dude.
Yeah.
Those are the real MVPs.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I was just talking to a guy and we brought up thermal imaging and I thought that's cool. You know, I've never been exposed to it, but I'm like, that is a technology that I don't think about a whole bunch, but man, that it's got to help in, you know, not everything, but it's at least at night, you know?
Yeah.
We're talking about on like thermal imaging on boats, you know, for going through the channels.
Yep.
In the mornings where you can't really see and you're looking for the markers and all that, where it creates the image based on the heat signals around it.
Yeah. So our drones have that, and then our helicopter has that as well. So trying to find a missing person, maybe a missing hiker, we can you send the helicopter up and try to find them with thermal.
That is sick, man. How about I was thinking about it for retrieving deer. You know, like if you're a bow hunter, you know, chances are it's going to run a little bit, you know, 25, 30 yards.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes if you hit it back, it can run even further. But,
Yeah.
Is there any kind of, I know I can read on it, but is there any kind of rules on thermal imaging for us to use it retrieval wise?
No, that's fine.
Totally. I
I think
figured.
it's totally fine.
I figured, but that's kind of cool. You just look through the woods and see a heat signature over there and go find your deer, I guess.
Yeah.
That'd
That
be
we don't
convenient.
want you to stay out too late and get hurt or something, and it ends up being something worse.
Yeah. While I'm thinking of it, is there any issues that you see on a daily basis, or not daily basis, but like, I imagine there's some kind of grace period for hunters. Like, unless you don't know your neighbor, if you were a hunter, would you go ahead and get pre-permission to like, hey, if I shoot this deer and it's looking on your property, or do I need to call you every time type thing? Like,
Yeah, I would try to communicate with your neighbor about what your intentions are before you have to call the
before
police.
deer season or anything.
Oh yeah. And then if you're gonna have permission, have that written permission on you. So if we check, hey, there's no question, you're allowed to be here. There's no issues, and then we don't have an issue later with the landowner be like, hey, I didn't say he could hunt here, but
Yeah, that's good advice.
yeah, get it well before.
Do you do anything with conservation of deer and things like that, or you're mostly on a boat? Sounds
Yeah,
like.
mostly on a boat. So
Yeah.
boats where I'm comfortable at, and I have more experience there. I like hunting is interesting. I mean, I'll check the hunters. Obviously, it's part of my job, and if they want to, the hunter's excited. Hey, look what I got! I'm like, that's awesome, dude. Cool. But yeah, it's. I would say every officer in NRP has their niche.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that deer hunting season. That's all them, and that's all that that's what they're most excited about. But I like boating in the summer. That's and search and rescue, and doing water rescues. People get caught in a riptide, taken out, and then they call us. Like that's really that's more of my niche, I would say.
Yeah. How does it work with NRP and the Coast Guard? Like, where right now you're doing more Coast Guard stuff, NRP doesn't need you right now, and they work hand in hand, or it's just like, hey guys, for the next 6 months I'm going to be where we're here. If you need me, call me, type thing. How does that
Yeah.
work?
So yeah, they need me.
Yeah. Well, they work together,
They're
though, I
wait-
guess.
So I'm on voluntary orders right now with the Coast Guard, so that I'm a reservist. So the kind of way it works is I drill at my Coast Guard unit 2 days a month and then 2 weeks out of the year. But there are times when, say, there's a shortage of personnel, then they'll need me to come in to my unit to fill a vacancy. So that's what I'm doing right now. So we have in the summertime, there's people transferred to a new unit. So I'm filling someone that has left, and so they need to fill that gap for at least a couple months. So I notified NRP that I'm being voluntold to respond to report in for a couple months, and so Yeah.
And then it just
But
kind of
the-
trumps it though. Like they're like, all right, cool. Your
They,
position will be here when you
legally,
get back.
yeah, legally they can't say no.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
And all your equipment, your truck, and all that is back
Yep,
to the
so
building.
you turn everything in, you park the truck, turn your guns in, and your badge and everything.
Man,
But yeah, I hate to leave the guys because I know they're having a busy summer right now with all the water rescues, it seems like after the day I left, it started, and boat accidents, water rescues, and so they've had their hands full. So yeah, feeling a little guilty for those guys, but I'll be back soon enough.
yeah, I was gonna say, is that kind of coming up soon when it cools
Yeah.
off a little bit?
Yeah, so
That's
I'll be
cool.
back this fall.
You excited to not have to drive this far?
Yeah, Virginia Beach is a little far.
Yeah, that's a hike.
But the thing I've always said, do the job that nobody else wants to do, or do the, if an opportunity comes, take it. I mean, that's kind of what I've learned over my years of experience at working for Coast Guard and an RP. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, we need a boat driver. Hey, if anybody interested in doing this operation or mission coming up, yeah, raise your hand.
That's cool. So, that speaks to who you are. One foot in front of the other, never backing down, I guess. And
Yeah, but also thank your family at the end of the day.
I bet that's got to be taxing,
So
man.
yeah, that's the families, any military, first responders, the spouse, the kids. They're putting as much of a sacrifice as the first responder military. So
Yeah. Well, thanks for all those guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you, my wife and my son.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Well, that's something that the average person doesn't really think about because we just go to our jobs and do our job and go home. And it wasn't until recently where I was actually with my mom in the hospital that my appreciation for the professional responders.
Yeah.
It could be the medical, it could be the police. I'm in the hospital. I'm like, man, these guys carry themselves so well.
Yeah.
Like they're walking around. And all they were doing, I mean, I know they're getting paid for it, but their job is to help you. So
Yeah.
my
yeah,
appreciation,
they're professional. Yeah,
it just grew that day even more, but it's not something I think about daily. It's like, you don't think about your health either. Like, oh, I feel good today. It's only when you feel bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, thank goodness they were here on the boat day that didn't go our way, so it's easy to not think about all the ins and outs, but
yeah. We're out there. We're just want to make sure you get home at the end of the day. I mean, we're not out there to just write you a ticket and send you on your way. We're out there to educate the public. These are the laws. You're not being safe, and this is what you need to correct or fix. And yeah, we just want to make sure you get home. But
those lessons.
that's how we kind of met. Well, we sort of knew each other, but
Yeah. Those lessons are ones you don't forget, though. I'll tell you that from experience.
Yeah.
Those jet ski tickets, those will get you.
They'll
then
get you.
Those, you don't forget them, though. It sucks because it's money, but I think that's kind of like the idea behind it is like, or maybe it's not, I don't know, but it hurts. So it sticks in your brain of like, I don't want to do that again,
Yeah.
and then that lesson is down in that folder. And I guess it goes into the wisdom part.
yeah.
It takes those. But yeah, we met years and years ago, but it was funny because I was on a jet ski. I was a typical jet skier. And
I was like, look at this guy. He's having too much fun.
just, hey, watch those canal entrances. Don't approach them too quickly, even if a storm's coming. So that was funny. You pulled me over. You were light, though. You were super cool. And it seemed to me that you were pretty new at the time, I guess.
I was new. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You were still getting your
I
bearings
wrote
straight.
more tickets than warnings at that stage of my career. Now I'm a little bit more lenient, more warnings. Hey, just trying to educate, but
Yeah, it's all good. I deserved it. It stuck with me, and then I can go around and I can say, hey, I don't go around and say from my experience, but if my kids, not their age, whatever, I'll try to help people as well, and
Yeah.
especially with the bridge. Hey, make sure 100 feet before, 100 feet after. Those are the
yeah,
things.
slow down under the bridges.
Yeah.
Everybody listening to this
Yeah.
because they don't know.
No, they don't know, and that's one of the things you gloss over in the jet ski handbook or whatever you're doing online to get your boater's license. You can get, it's monotonous. It's like, oh, I know how to operate this thing. I know how to do this. It's click, 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 click. Skip. Next thing you know, you're out on the water, uneducated, and then that's when things happen. So, thankfully, it sucks at the time. I'm like, man, I'm just trying to do right, but at the same time, I didn't slow down, or I was going too fast to canal, and you know what? Learn my lesson. So, and then
Yep.
it makes you go back through and be like, all right, well, how do I be in the right? Maybe I needed to pay more attention. Or people listening to this, maybe they're out there doing the boat.
They're doing it right now while we're talking.
Well, no, I'm saying
It's a
that
nice Saturday.
I bet you there are some people out there that actually take it to heart, and they're actually doing the right thing. So I can't speak for everyone, but I'm just, antsy. I was ready to get on the water. I was younger, way younger at the time when I was getting my boater's license, and just skipping things. So
Yeah.
thank goodness there's people out there like you.
The majority of
Keeping
people
everyone
want, majority of people want to do the right thing, and they just don't know. Yeah, so you see a boat fly under the bridge, you're like, oh, I'm a jet ski. Why can't I can do the same thing? But there is a law. If you're on a jet ski, you have to slow down to 6 knots or less whenever you're within 100 feet of anything. So bridge, piling, pier, people, other jet ski. Other
Got
jet
that
ski.
one. They tore me up like the first week I was on a jet ski.
Oh, so somebody else wrote you.
Oh, big time.
Oh, well, I don't feel
No. So when we met, it was 3 or 4
Oh, I was
years.
the first one, and then
No.
another
It was years after I'd been
okay.
exposed to jet skis.
Okay.
But the first week or so, I was on one just messing around. It seemed like every time I came back, I was like, well, luckily I think I got some warnings and stuff too. But it seemed like every time I took it out, I got pulled over. So I was
Your
used
wife
to
was
it.
probably like, you should probably sell that jet
Yeah,
ski.
I didn't own it. I just needed to
Oh,
stop
well, there you
taking it out. So, but yeah, it was cool. They were fun. And they are fast.
Yeah, they're wicked fast.
They are. I rode one the other day, 70 in the crack of your finger. Like if your grip strength wasn't tight enough, it'd throw you off.
Yeah.
It was insanely fast.
Yeah, and
So,
and they rent them out. So, which is I don't know, it's crazy. You got to be safe on those things. Pay attention to your jet ski guide
yeah.
and listen to them so you don't get in an accident. Because that's the worst accidents we see are the jet ski accidents.
Really?
Yeah.
There are a bunch of them.
Yeah, the majority of what we have in the summer. Yeah, the rental jet ski accidents.
Do you think, or do you see them mostly jet ski on jet ski, or is it jet ski?
Yeah,
boat,
it's
or
gonna be
jet ski
it's gonna be
piling?
the group of jet skiers. Yeah, they run into each other, having fun. They're on vacation. They don't think anything bad can happen, but they're playing chicken, coming at each other. But it's hard. A jet ski guide job, that's hard. You're keeping track of 10 jet skis. You and your buddy, your other jet ski guide, and you got 10 jet skis you're in charge of. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think about it. I mean, I think about just one person on it, but I think about, well, I'm mechanically inclined, and I know it doesn't have brakes,
Yeah, they think they have brakes. I
yeah.
think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, that's a good reminder. Just,
And that's why they have that law why you have to slow under a bridge for the 100-foot distance rule for the jet ski because they don't have brakes. So when you slow down, you don't have any maneuverability like a boat does.
yeah, or if you lose power. That was what the DNR was telling me. Was, if you lose power and they do power down pretty quick.
Yeah.
So you do slow down quickly, but if you were to be going underneath or headed to the piling to make that turn,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, you lose your engine shuts off or the lanyard pulls out. Well, guess what? Now you're hitting that thing.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
I mean, it does make sense.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm just thankful our area supports the style of living that we are used to. The area with hunting and fishing and crabbing and all that jazz, it's pretty diverse. So the thing that cracks me up all the time is like when I look and see the duck blind over there by Sneaky Pete's. I'm like, man, this is like city, but so cool that it's still country style. So
Yeah, it's
like, we live in, like,
very
the
unique.
biggest area, but yet it's still
Very unique. Like once you leave the boardwalk, once you leave West Ocean City, it's just rural farmland, and that's not how it is in Virginia Beach. It's complete opposite. So it is it's an awesome place to live.
I love it, man. And you be in the city, or say you're in Ocean City, and then you go down 90 and you bust a right on whatever St. Martin's Neck Road.
Mm-hmm.
Instant country.
Yeah.
You got chicken house, chicken
It's
farms,
unique,
and
yeah.
whatever. I'm like,
I think that's why a lot
love
of
this.
people move here. It's different. And it's cool. It's very. It's a great place to raise your kids.
I love it, man. Speaking of kids, we can get into that subject real quick.
Okay.
Both of our kids are homeschoolers.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
Were you on board with homeschooling at the beginning?
not really. I was surprised. It was a cool, accidental surprise for me.
Same. Yeah. I wasn't totally on board, but it was my wife's. It was her idea, and from my experience growing up, I mean, I didn't really hang out with any homeschool kids in my neighborhood, so I wasn't completely on board. But now I am 100%. Yeah, it's great.
I'm so impressed with the things that I've learned going on the trips or chaperoning something or doing the homeschool co-op meetups and all that. Like an accidental education for me.
Yeah.
To see, and then just knowing that we're not trying to build scholars.
Yeah.
We're just trying to build people like me and you that are just regular
First responders.
Yeah, and they probably will be, or your son might be.
Yeah, he's big on it because he's done the Ocean City Fire Camp past 3 summers, and he wants to do cadet at 14.
Mm-hmm. So. What's cool is he can start focusing on that now, and be even better at the time of him getting the reins. Where, I'm not saying that they're definitely educated kids, but you focus on so many other things growing up in sports, and not that they don't play sports, but he can go ahead and gear to that now and have the flexibility to go with you on ride-alongs and not have to be in a classroom in the middle of December, where it's like, or, a little flexibility, and he can go get on-the-job training just hanging out with his dad.
Exactly. Instead of going to school, I just drop him off at the fire department at 14 and say, all right, have fun. Mm-hmm. I'll come pick you up at the end of the day. So that's very unique. Awesome opportunity that he has. And also, I know you agree with me. I mean, not everybody can afford to homeschool, and that's something that, I mean, we're grateful that we have that opportunity that we can homeschool.
Yeah.
Because it can get expensive, and
we're going into the new season this year.
Yeah.
And it's changed from last year, and it's definitely, it adds up. But
it adds up.
I don't know. The trade-offs, though, I'm not saying that there's right or wrong, but from my experience, I went to public school, and I'm just thankful I got through it. Thankful I paid attention and just showed up. But I just look at my kids, and I'm like, man, it's so cool that they can hang out with us and learn on the job things like fixing an air conditioner or coming over here and doing an oil change on his dirt bike or something. It's like, with the flexibility, which I know not everyone has that, so I'm not hating or anything, but it's like, it's just a different way to see it and see, homeschoolers. I always thought they were like you were talking about, like, they're different, whatever as a public school kid, but they're sometimes probably even more educated, really, or I don't know, but it's cool.
Just opportunities they get to do, like the glass blowing in Berlin when they went and did a field trip with the glass blowing. They learned how to do that.
That's right.
And then we ended up getting when our dog passed away, we got his ashes put in the glass, and then they did the glass blowing there for him.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that is cool. I know Jeff Well, actually. Mm-hmm. He's the man. He actually, I don't know if you saw that BMX bike. Yeah. He actually built that thing.
That's an awesome bike.
So, he's the man. Shout out to Jeff.
But yeah, they do all these, and that just speaks to this community that has those opportunities for our kids to go explore and check out.
Yeah, and then there's other things like the field days, 4-H.
Mm-hmm. 4-H is great, and you're a big proponent of that with the archery. And
I'm so happy that they're exposed to that type of thing in the shooting sports. And all of the things that they do for the community. They're out there doing nature adventure things and checking things out and baking this and doing, they're into so many organizations. It blows my mind, but yeah, that's super cool. They're exposed to more things than just a curriculum and like, beating their head about certain things like nouns and adverbs and all that stuff. It's like, well, I'm not saying they don't need that. They don't need to know that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I've never once needed to know what an adjective or a noun is, bro.
Yeah.
I know what singular and plural is. I know that. And you know what? If a Mad Libs comes out, I'm just going to toss that thing in the trash. I'm not doing it. Okay? So I'm not an academic scholar myself. But at the same time,
you're the principal.
Bro, if your car's broke down or something's broken around your house, guess what? I'm probably your Huckleberry.
You're the principal. You're throwing it out. Like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're going to learn about cars today.
Yeah.
We'll learn about engines and
something that saves you money or can help you out in real life. And I think that is the coolest thing is life skills.
Yeah.
Balancing a budget or a checkbook, or maybe we're not the best at that, but at the same time, I'm just saying life skills, where it could be something, a plumbing issue, or some people don't even know that they have underground utilities outside your house that are your responsibility. So, I mean, my kids,
I don't know that.
Right. So it's kind of cool to dig up a water line outside and fix your hydrant that's leaking or something. And your kid's, 11 years old, and he's like, dang, I never knew that.
Yeah.
Whoa, we could just go to Home Depot and buy this thing and dig it up and fix it ourselves. Yeah, dude, that's what happens, man.
Yeah.
Especially, not only does it give you a sense of pride. I mean, I'm sure that there's some YouTubers out there that you can figure it out, but you know, it's a sense of pride to do it yourself. It's your house, your whatever. But at the same time, you're saving money too. You
Yeah.
know, you're not relying on that guy to come out and sitting around waiting until 3 when you could just fix it right now. You
Yep.
know, so that's kind of like where my crossover is, like impatience and you know, all of it mixed together. It just kind of creates who I am. But that rubs off on our kids, and they get to see that, and then, you know,
Yeah, and yeah, trade schools. I mean, that's how they're just as important, and maybe even more important than going to college, because you learn a skill and then you get paid because there's nobody else that knows that skill in your area.
yeah. Now, did you go to college at all?
Yeah, I went to college. I went to Radford University.
Okay, 4-year degree.
4-year, yeah, history degree. So I didn't know what I was going to use it for. I mean, I thought about the officer route for the military because you have to have a college degree or at least some college credits, or FBI. I was thinking maybe going that route, but
Cool.
if the military didn't work out.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't go to any kind of college. I guess I went to like 1 year, and I was like, man, I don't think this is for me. You know, so
Yeah.
I jumped in the trade, just like you were talking about, with, you know, no student debt, things like that.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we need more of that type of thing. You hear like
Exactly.
micro and all these jobs, and you know, it's like, man, maybe we should stop pushing, you know, college degrees and get some more welders and more plumbers and more HVAC guys.
It kind of sounds like it's going that way.
I agree. Yeah, I
is
think
good.
so. Which is
But-
cool because it gives, you know, now I sound preachy, but I'm just saying, like, it gives kids, you know, an instant satisfaction. They're making money and they're learning on the job, and they're not going out and getting into a bunch of debt, you know,
Yeah.
right away. And it's kind of cool that they know that, because then it's like, well, you know, I don't know, like, it's whatever. I won't get off that subject, but
Yeah, I remember watching like Monster Garage and American Chopper and seeing those guys doing welding, and I was like, man, this is awesome.
I lived for that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I love that show.
man, that's kind of probably what shaped me into who I am. I wanted it so bad. Like, I wanted to see something come together or something.
Yeah.
That was cool. And you know, yeah, Monster Garage, and then I thought about this the other day. Did you ever watch Junkyard Wars?
Yes, yeah.
Dude, bring that back. That show, I was
It was like those British guys. It was
Yeah.
like a British show too.
I used to eat that show up. I text my buddy, one of my best friends, Jimmy, and I was like, dude, we would excel at that show. If
Yeah.
you just gave us a junkyard and some,
Oh, it
some
sounds
tools,
fun.
we'll create anything that you could ask us to do it. So I thought that was the coolest thing I've ever.
They should bring that show back, or have it maybe an American, like on Discovery Channel show.
I would love that, dude. I would, if there was a junkyard big enough around here, I would just do it myself on YouTube.
Yeah.
That would be freaking rad. So
They should do that.
yeah, I don't know. I remember that, and I don't know, just growing up wanting to do things and not being able to do it at the time. You know, you're only 12 or 13 years old or 14. And you're like, man, when I get older, I'm gonna do that.
Well, you're doing it.
I did it, dude.
You're
I've done a
doing
lot
it.
of it.
I'm
So,
not doing it. I mean, I have the go-kart, which I'm kind of, trying to still learning about how to like do the brakes, but yeah.
Yeah, but you're doing other things too, where, you know, I'm more into the gearhead type thing, but you're also out there doing things though that take up your brain capacity, where I don't have that for first response and things like that. So it's kind of like, you know, give and take on things. I think you can only store so much in your brain.
It's true.
And-
That's why I
and-
have this all these notes written down on this notepad.
Yeah, well, I think about that too. I'm like, well, even just the podcast, where I'm a gearhead and I've been focusing all my effort into here and the electronics and things, which thank goodness I'm getting things dialed in. But you can only be so good at so many things before you start to be bad at other things, I think.
Yes.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things, and it's always learning and building on what you've learned, I think, you know.
I agree.
So I don't know.
I got you these gifts.
Oh,
Did you want to see these?
hell yeah! Thanks, man.
So I got the patch, the NRP patch. So NRP founded in 1868 as a result of the oyster wars in Chesapeake Bay. So people in Virginia stealing oysters, and Maryland had, it was hurting their economy, so they had to get some boats with some guns, and it's kind of how where the oyster police started.
That's cool, man.
And they
Thanks.
got a challenge coin from our Papua New Guinea deployment for 2 months over there with the Coast Guard. So that we were doing the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Conference. So set up a security zone, so making sure the waterways are safe for all the world leaders to come visit.
That's sweet.
So we were out there,
And what's it called? What kind of coin is it?
it's it's the APEC coin. So that was our deployment. So it's got a boomerang. So we were on a Australian amphibious destroyer. So we left Australia on that. It has a well deck, so it's like amphibious cruiser. It has a well deck. Floods. So you have your boats back there, and it floods, and then it lets the water in, and then you have your boat, and you get on the boat, and you leave out this massive door that they raise and lower.
That sounds aggressive.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Wow.
So our boats had a 50 cal in the front and the M240 Bravo machine guns left and right, and then some Navy SEALs were there too as well. We worked hand in hand with them because Vice President Mike Pence was there for that. So it was kind of like their security detail.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It says 2018. Were you there in 2018?
Yeah, 2018. Yeah,
that's sweet. Now, when you go to those places, do you fly there or do you boat in?
So we flew, but it took us 40 hours to fly because I think we had the worst airline.
Oh my! You guys
were the lowest budget airline.
You don't fly commercial, do you?
We were on commercial on that one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What kind of BS is that?
We were not like tip of the spear. Well,
dude, Air
we were
Force
a dull blade
flying you guys out there.
I know they should have.
What the heck?
The planes that our boats were sent on, they were Air Force planes. It was like was the Galaxy, and they were sending our boats on that one. But
I cannot believe that they trust commercial pilots to get.
Well, we're just military service members, so you can fly in a commercial.
I know. I'm just saying that's kind of crazy.
But yeah, it took 40 hours. We flew from like Alaska down to Japan, Philippines, and then Australia. So
yikes!
I had a beard by the time I got off the plane. But that's some of the sacrifices you do when you sign up, for your to serve your country.
Yeah. Did it go well? Did you guys have any cool stories or anybody try to come in there and
just like there are people so they had like these DHOWs or like they're kind of like launch boats, so fishermen are fishing, and then it's all coral reef. It's beautiful. So it's off Papua New Guinea, and then so we were doing security. So it's like a closed area. Then you see like a fisherman try to come in and go fish, and then you see one of our boats or another Papua New Guinea police boat come aboard, and they detain him and take him. And I was like, he's just trying to fish.
Yeah, so they don't even let him pass.
No, they don't let him get through there.
Yikes.
But yeah, it was a whole big deal. And then it was safe.
Yeah, were you on the boat the whole time, or did you get to check out the area? And
yeah, we were on the boat the whole time.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and just like Kuwait was a safe deployment. Nothing dangerous. So people deploying to Iraq and Afghanistan coming through, they would go through Kuwait on the way home. But if you walked around base, you could see these indentations in the ground of bombs, ordnance that was dropped from Saddam Hussein's army when he invaded Kuwait back in Desert Storm.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's wild. So you got a nice little reminder of...
Yeah, so history. Homeschool history.
Yeah. Wow. That's wild.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. What's the... I was thinking about this. Like, do you travel far on those boats? Like, do you ever go to
the Coast Guard boats?
Yeah. Do you ever go to different countries or anything on a boat by boat, or is it you just stay?
So the unit I was at was a deployable unit, so they were deployable anywhere in the world within 96 hours. So
Okay.
you put them on a plane, and then you land, and then you set up like a base, and you have like a camp. It's kind of like, and then they have a kitchen. It's self-reliant on itself with like 100 members. So we had our boats like at a pier, and then you just patrol with your boats, set up a security zone or do law enforcement boardings and stuff like that.
Okay.
But we're not really going far with them just because they're only 30 feet long, so you don't go very far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was just curious if you guys traveled by boat to other, like, say you guys put your boats on ships or something and then got on a ship, because I'm assuming the Coast Guard has some giant ships.
Yep. So we have cutters, but what the unit I was at, they were deployable by air
okay, so it's
by
just
mobile command.
Gotcha. So there's different levels of Coast Guard. I mean, I guess that's with everything, but
yeah, our mission set's a little different from a Coast Guard cutter because they have their small boats on the Coast Guard cutter itself, and they would when they board to seize drugs or to detain smugglers, they'll have over the horizon smaller boat that they ride on.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, I appreciate the gifts, man. That's super rad. I'll have to get a little shelf or something to keep these things on, or a board to
Yeah.
to pin it to. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, try to get a patch from Hunter if you can.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I bet you I can call him up and get one. Heck yeah. I appreciate it, man.
But I know you wanted to talk about the Rubicon Trail.
Oh yeah. I'm an avid off-road guy, dude. I forgot about that. So when you're in California,
So in California, so my brother is a huge Jeep guy. He was like a camp Jeep trail guide for years, and it's kind of where I got the bug from for off-roading. And I have a Toyota Tacoma, and then Toyota guys. So a lot of beef between Jeep guys and Toyota guys.
no, there really isn't. Not for me, at least. I'm
No,
just
I don't
joking.
care either.
No, the Toyotas are cool,
Whatever you
man.
have, bring whatever you got.
Dude, I was gonna say the thing is with off-roading is just like hunting, camaraderie and being out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know my Jeep parts won't fit your Toyota, but I'd try to help you MacGyver some stuff to get
Yes.
you off the trail.
Same,
So,
yeah.
or I hope you do too. You guys probably pack way more stuff than we do.
Yeah.
All we have is a cooler full of beer.
That's it.
Maybe some food, no waters.
The
So,
American way.
that's how we roll. It's the Toyota guys, they usually come prepared. They're a little
Yeah.
more. They got the, you know, some maybe a fridge with some stuff, and I'm just joking, but yeah, dude. So Toyota guys, Rubicon Trail.
So-
your brother.
Yeah, something we've always wanted to do. We just never got to it. So we moved out to California, my wife and I, and so I was deployed out there with the Coast Guard. So the Rubicon Trail was about 3 hours from the Coast Guard station. So my brother flew out. The Tacoma had 33-inch pizza cutter tires, a winch on the front. So we went with a Toyota group, and that was kind of it was kind of mandated. Hey, you got to have a winch, you got to have at least 33-inch tires, and you got to have one locker. Mm-hmm. So we met those requirements. Then we're at the night before the trail ride, we're at AutoZone trying to get extended brake lines and everything going, of course. So staying up late, stressed, trying to get the brake lines bled and everything.
So did you just have the bare minimum?
We had the bare minimum,
Okay, so no front locker.
just like in go-karting.
Okay. Hey, it works, dude.
I guess that's my call sign, the bare minimum.
Well, I like it.
Or,
You know,
yeah.
because then when you do be successful, it's like, well, yeah, you know, I didn't expect not to be. you
Yeah.
know, So
So we packed up food. We took my dog Admiral at the time. So he went with us. We got to the trailhead, got to the parking staging area the next morning early, right by the trail where it starts. Have a driver's meeting, and then they look around at all the trucks, and they're like, oh, just saying well, most of the vehicles have 35-inch or up tires compared to us. Like they're a lot bigger. And so they're looking around like, are you sure you can make it? And it's like, we'll try our best. So we have the bare minimum. So, yeah, some people didn't think we were going to make it because it's like a 3-day trip, it's overland. I mean, it's overlanding is what it was.
yeah, you pack everything: food, gas,
pack everything. Yeah.
spare tires. Usually, you have a whole truck.
Spare
Not a whole
parts.
truck, but usually people that do this trail have a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool, and you guys did it.
So we did, yeah. So it took about 3 days, but there were trucks that did break down behind us, and we just kept going. So
The underdog.
underdog kept going. Yeah, it was fun. It was an awesome experience.
Yeah.
Incredible.
That's got to be awesome, man. I've always thought about a long adventure like that. That seems like a dream trip, man.
Yeah.
You had your brother,
Yeah.
your dog.
So I'm glad I had my brother because with all the experience he's had, and he's a great spotter, which I feel like is important to have. So he gets you around the obstacles or tell you where to put your tires, how to get around. So growing up with him, he had a little bit more of a tough love on me, like, hey, don't go through that so fast. You're gonna break something. So
Smart.
it was great having him there with
That's
me.
the key to success is a good spotter.
Yeah.
I've been there many times, man. I've done some gnarly stuff, and I think a lot of off-roaders out there, there's all kinds of different ways to do it, but if you do it methodically with a spotter, you can get through a lot of stuff, man, and break a lot less stuff. It seems like as we grew with our rigs that we currently have, we just point and shoot now. But I miss those days, man, because you can take my little Jeep or your little truck, and you guys can do gnarly stuff just with everyone else, just a little slower,
Just go a little slower, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that spotter is super important, man. And your dog is there too,
Yeah.
helping, running around.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's chaos.
He loved it. Yeah, it was awesome. It was like some parts of the Rubicon Trail is like you feel like you're on the moon just because how much granite and rock there is, and not so little trees, and then get that to that altitude. You're higher up, so it was really awesome. Our dog Admiral, he slept for like a week when we got home, but I left my wife home pregnant, 6 months pregnant, which I probably would not. Looking back now, was not the smartest idea, but bless her heart.
Making memories, man.
making memories. But
That's what-
yeah,
That's cool though that your brother probably still talks about it too.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. It was awesome,
Yeah.
awesome
Those
experience.
camping, the food that you make on the trails, that is some of the best experiences I've ever lived. And I think that's the wheeling and the off-roading is cool and the scenery is cool, but sharing the memories and being there with your brother and your buddies, and I've done that, and cooking the food and things that you create. Some of the best things we've ever made food-wise were with a blowtorch and some buns and some cheese and some griddled, cheesesteak meat. We're just, throwing it
Absolutely.
together. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I love that stuff. Yeah, that's
But
cool.
yeah, I'm so glad we took that opportunity to do that while we were out there in California. Then we had my son. He was born in California too.
Wow.
So on the Air Force Base, at Travis Air Force Base.
That's cool. So he's got a cool story to tell his buddies.
Yeah, he's from California. Yeah, but yeah, it was stressful moving back here from the West Coast because we didn't have a home, or didn't know what we were gonna do for a living.
Yeah. So when you guys were in California, Rubicon Trail had Silas, 2 years is up. Then you guys somehow managed to land back here with the NRP thing. So
Yeah.
how did that become to pick Ocean City, Maryland of all these other? Why didn't you go back to Virginia Beach?
Yep. So when I was deployed in Kuwait, I had one of my buddies. He worked for NRP. He worked for the Natural Resources Police. So I deployed for him for 6 months, and he said I should apply because they had an opening. So I did, but I didn't hear back for like a year and a half. Wow. And then they said, "Hey, you got the job, hey, you got a job offer. So come back and fly back, do an interview, and do all the physical testing, and then we'll see how you do." But so I flew back, did the testing, did the interview, and they said, "Hey, if you get the job, we'll offer you wherever you want." So I said, "Well, with my background, I like being near the ocean, so that's why I picked Ocean City, and Area 1 is what it's called, so it's the Eastern Shore."
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you could have, I guess,
I could end up
you
anywhere.
could have been in like any throughout the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you could have picked the mountains or whatever.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But just with my background, I thought, Ocean Assateague. We went to Assateague one time, visited, and we really loved it. So I thought it was really cool with the ponies, and there's so much to do here. And so I think it worked out so far.
Oh, dude, our area is so rad.
Yeah.
And then was there any kind of influence with the Coast Guard being right here too? I'm sure that was a big deal.
I just I know that I had the potential to being stationed there possibly, but now that they don't have any Coast Guard reservists there, but you got Virginia Beach, which is not too far, and then you got Coast Guard headquarters, which is about 2.5 hours, so both ways. And then I did end up taking some opportunities to do some active duty at Coast Guard headquarters with the National Command Center. So I was briefing the commandant, that's the head guy of the Coast Guard, 3 times a week, just doing like daily briefs of how many cases we have, how many drug cases, how many drugs do we have on board, detainees, any major search and rescue cases. So it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it really made me comfortable with public speaking, because you're in a room with 40 people, and they're all subject matter experts on like drugs or immigration or, search and rescue. So if there's something comes up, a question, the commandant might ask me a question, what do I think? But then I'll look at the room, does anybody else have an answer? But if I don't have the answers, Sir Admiral, I don't have the answer right now, but I'll get back to you.
That's cool.
So that's kind of a big thing that I've learned.
That's crazy. That's what you're doing down in Virginia Beach?
That was at the Coast Guard headquarters. So
Gotcha.
now I'm doing intel down in Virginia Beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But yeah, so I've learned a lot. So went from enlisted and went to the dark side, as I call it. That's the officer's side. So
Yeah. Is there anything that like kind of in like a mistakes? I mean, I know we always make mistakes that we learn from, but is there anything that like other than you losing your badge and you try breaking your gun and wrecking your truck, like things like that though that like solidify, moving forward that'll never happen again, or like is there anything that speaks out to you like that?
Well, when I was trying to get my Cox and Qual, like I had my PQS, so it's like your sign-offs, like you demonstrate that you know it, and then you do it for them, and then they sign it off. Like I had a manual, and somehow like I got thrown in the water one day when I was doing,
With all the signatures?
with all the signatures, so I had to start all over.
That seems like a barbaric way to do it. I mean, I guess now they probably do it all electronic, but
Yeah, it was School of Hard Knocks back 10 years ago.
yeah.
But maybe it still is.
So you had to
Just
go back through and get them all to
lock
sign it
lock
again?
up your stuff so people don't mess with it and throw it in the water. Yeah.
Man.
So I learned, earned by experience. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it easy to go back and get the signatures?
I mean, I had to redo it.
Oh, you had to redo the qualifications again to get the signatures?
I had to demonstrate it again. Yeah. So get on the boat and tie this knot. So I had to demonstrate all that again. But I mean, you're doing that fairly often anyways. But
That's
yeah,
probably good.
I failed. I mean, I've had a board and check ride for just like basic boat crew member. I've failed that like 3 times. That was awful. My knowledge of boats at that time was nothing. Like, I would be the guy on the jet ski probably just violating, going under the bridge too fast.
Yeah, so then that rings true to you when you get that reprimand or that ticket. Like,
Yeah.
no negotiating. Like, that's the only way.
Yeah.
Never again. Yeah.
So yeah, you learn by failing. I mean, you learn a lot by failing. So don't give up. Brush yourself off, get back up, and try again.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my mantra. That's what I try to do every day, man. But it seems like sometimes you're like, dang, I just learned this. Why am I here again? But whatever. That's just what happens, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it, man. That was super interesting.
Yeah.
I'm pumped that we were able to meet, just by the homeschooler co-op group. So I love that all kinds of kinds pass through, and I've met a lot of people just it's like, well, there's probably a reason why you cross paths. So
Yeah, absolutely.
here now. So I'm pumped that I've come across your path, dude.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
yeah, man, we've done some cool stuff. You got anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think that probably covers everything on my notes here.
Yeah, we did good. I'm pumped. That was a good
Yeah.
sit down, and I got to know you more.
Your kids are great. It seems like the homeschool kids, they all get together, get along, and they're really kind and seeking knowledge, information. And whenever you are with us and Silas, I mean, he listens a little bit to what I say, but I think having like other dads that are involved in their kids' lives, it's huge and has a huge impact on him. And I look for that too, because I mean, I had my dad when I was around when I was little. He would come to baseball games and stuff like that. So I like to have other dads also help out and put their input in.
Yeah, I think it's
Steer the
awesome.
ship.
Yeah, that's what we're doing, and I like it too, because like you said, sometimes I'll say something to my son or my daughter or whatever, and it goes in one ear and out the other. But if you say it, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Rob said that." It's a little more important to them, So it was kind of cool yesterday when we were talking about the go-kart and things like that. I wasn't trying to be preachy, but I was like, well, I know you've probably said it 100 times, and I'm like, hey, it could be a little faster if you're doing this with this and this. This is kind of your responsibility. I know you're a good driver and all, but drivers do the work too. So it was cool. It was definitely cool. You have a great son as well.
Yeah, you were my secret weapon last night.
Yeah.
If they knew who you really were, they'd be like, that's not fair.
Oh yeah, right. But yeah, I don't know. It was cool. You guys did great. I'm pumped. I had fun. I learned a lot. So it gives me confidence to go back, even just where to park and how to get there and things like that. That's not so much intimidating to the average person, but I just like to go in with, guns blazing, know what I'm doing and not looking like I don't. So that was fun, man. I'm pumped that we were able to get this information out and have a good time sitting in here and chilling. But I think it's time for us to go hang out with our kids, dude.
Yeah, we actually need to go do what we were saying.
Dude. Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate you swinging by,
thanks
man,
for having me.
taking the time. Hopefully this everything works. We got our cameras.
We got the audio's working.
Hopefully everything works. I've been going behind the scenes and fixing stuff. So appreciate everyone's patience. And I guess we're going to go have fun.
Yeah, we're going to go have fun. We're going to go ride some scooters and dirt bikes.
Oh, yeah, dude. All right. See you guys.
See ya.